Hello, 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 coaches and leaders. I have a fantastic guest on today, Dr. Naomi Hall. We are going to talk about burnout, stress, overwhelm, like what causes all of that. I know over the last few years, we've really been experiencing this from our educators. And I've had a couple episodes in the past on this, but I think we can't talk about it enough, and I want to feed you, my beautiful coaches and leaders listening, how you can continue to support your educators in this realm, right? So, first of all, Naomi, I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and to talk about this.
Yeah. So, Naomi, you and I met in a kind of an unusual way. You host with Kathleen Kennedy. You host a virtual conference called the Thrive Conference, and those of you that listen to the show, you might have seen me posting and emailing about. I was able to present at one of the most recent conferences. It's so cool. This conference is free, and folks get to just like sit, and it goes over a number of hours, and listen to folks share about their expertise, but in an interview style, which is so unique.
Yeah, I love it. It's really become a passion for us to bring just high level, high quality, cup filling professional development to educators.
It's really cool. So everyone listening, we'll put a link to kind of the Thrive Conference webpage so you can be aware of when, maybe put on your calendar for when it's happening next. But I would just love you to share with everyone what do you do now in this realm of burnout and stress, and how did you get here?
Yeah, so I spent 18 years in education as a teacher and an administrator, so very intimately acquainted with stress and burnout, and burned out a couple times myself and had to fight my way back on my own. So in 2022, my contract was not renewed. And that was when I started my business. And I decided I wanted to give back what I had tried to figure out on my own to shorten the runway for people to be able to heal from burnout, to be able to beat burnout and stay in a career that they're called to that is absolutely sucking the life out of them. So I help the overwhelmed professional figure out, how do I stop being my own biggest stressor?
Hmm. I love it. No, this is really great. So I really want to just kind of dive right in here. What have you seen that causes burnout in schools?
There's so many things. Lack of boundaries, the inability
Mm,
to say no or feel that you can't say no. The lack, this just kills me. The lack of focus on supporting teachers and educators and administrators as people.
yes.
And this is part of what drove starting Thrive Conference, is that so much professional development focuses on curriculum and behavior management, but it doesn't take care of the person. And I firmly believe if you take care of the person, if you take care of the educator, they will take care of the students and they will take care of the scores. But if you don't take care of your people, they will not stay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's really the crux of it. And we have to help our educators take care of themselves, prioritize their health, prioritize their mental health, and all of that, so that they can be the best version of themselves to do what they are highly trained to do. And so when we're only focused on the scores, when we're only focused on the testing, when we're only focused on the curriculum, we are missing our most valuable treasure, and it's the people in our building.
Yeah. I think that's a huge misstep that we make, where we skip over the teacher and just say, you need to focus on the kids, focus on the kids. We're only focusing on the kids. That's, yes, at the end of the day, our end game is students, right? Like having students lead successful, happy, fulfilling lives, right? And there's a human in front of them, right? And it's just a huge misstep to just skip over them,
Oh yeah.
right? Like, oh, only focus on the kids. No, there's that teacher there, right? And that human-centered approach that I always talk about. So, I love this so much. So what, like I want to talk about, you and I were joking before we started recording about like what did you say
I
about
said, if you tell me to do self-care one more time, I'm going to punch you in the throat.
yes.
Like,
And
become like this curse word.
Yes, self-care is a curse word because it's actually self-care isn't bad. It's just we've used it to mask and band-aid over some very real things that are causing burnout. And it's been kind of the escape hatch. Like, oh, I just told you to do self-care, so we're good. And we're not acknowledging what's our culture like, right? How are we interacting with each other? Like if someone just goes and gets a manicure, they should be better, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so,
It's
yeah,
very surface level
yeah,
of like, oh, just like have a cup of tea, go get a manicure, what, like whatever. It's just very, very fluffy when self-care is good. Self-care is important, but self-care, and I've changed to calling it, and I got this from somebody else, required care. Are
mhm,
you doing the required care that is necessary for your body and your mind to function well?
well,
Because
mhm,
most of the time we're running in last minute on carbs and caffeine and thinking we're going to do well and continue. And the reality is we are destroying our bodies and our minds.
yes. So now we talked about why it happens. I want to hear the good stuff. What can us coaches and leaders do to help support teachers in not burning out?
One, you have to set the example.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take care of yourself and set the example of doing the required care, of setting boundaries of I'm not going to email my staff outside of work hours.
Mm-hmm.
Whether working outside those hours or not, I'm going to schedule the email so that it
Mm-hmm.
goes the
Schedule it.
next morning.
Uh-huh.
I'm I'm not going to infringe upon their personal time. And so I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to set that example because when you send that email at 8 o'clock at night, they think that you expect them to respond at 8 o'clock at night, even if you don't. So it's things like that. It's, you know what, Friday afternoon, I am going to walk the halls at 3 p.m. and say, hey, hope you're heading home soon. See you next week. Communicating that message of there are firm boundaries around work and home, and you better be leaving on Friday afternoon to go spend time with your family because that's what I'm going to go do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And be, you know what, I'm going to go for a run
Mm-hmm.
because my body and my mind need to run and I need to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. It's setting those examples. It's, it's blocking out time on your calendar where you're not accessible to people of saying, I also expect you to block out time where you are able to do focused work. And so it's setting those examples of I am taking care of my body by moving it, fueling it, hydrating it, resting it. A lot of times that's the one we really need to focus on. And I'm also taking care of my mind. I'm checking my mindset. I'm checking my own personal um, mental language of how I'm talking to myself. And I'm demonstrating that to my staff. So it's setting that example there of this is how we should be functioning here.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we should be prioritizing. This is what I'm doing, and I want you to do it as well. I
Mm-hmm.
expect that you're setting boundaries. I expect that you're taking care of yourself. And it's checking in on people and saying, hey, you're looking kind of tired, you're looking a little stressed. What's going on? How can I support you? What areas of you do you need to be working on to take care of yourself so that you can function your best?
Yeah. So I would love, can you give an example of someone that wasn't doing that and then what it looked like for them to start doing that? I'd love like really concrete, vivid example
So
of
like
the non-example and then the example.
so as a leader or as a person that was burnt out?
As a leader exemplifying this for teachers.
Yep. I have a district that I've worked with. I think this is my third year working with them. And so when I came in, multiple schools, multiple cultures. So working with the one school, the principal saw what I do,
Hmm.
said, we need this for our staff.
Yeah.
So what she did, because she came into a culture that was not healthy at all. So she was coming in trying to make some shifts and some changes. So she saw what I do as a tool and a vehicle to help do that for her staff. So what she did was she had me in 3, 4 times in the year to work with her staff. I spoke to their staff, so they knew me personally. And then I would come in and do a full day of coaching for their staff, just back to back 30-minute sessions. And what she did, I just love what she did because she knew her staff. She knew who was struggling. She knew what was going on in their lives. So she made sure that she knew them. And she went around and she said, "Hey, Coach Naomi's here today. Why don't you sign up to go see her?" And they'd be like, "Well, my plan block's already filled." She goes, "I'll get you coverage. I will cover your class personally if we can't get you coverage." And so she advocated for her staff and the staff that was struggling the most. And what I saw happen there was I started having people, as I came back again and again, see me again and again. And we got to make progress with, all right, I worked on this, but now this is my struggle. And we work on this, and now this is my struggle. And I saw her staff feel valued. And it was kind of funny because some days I would have, so here's the gamut of what I got with people coming in. There's the people like, school sucks. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's talk about it. Like, what sucks about school? And I, having the background of having worked in education, I understand how schools work. So I'm able to work with them on the school structure. And then I have others, they're like, school's fantastic, life sucks. I'm like, okay, let's work on that. And then I have others that came in, they're like, I don't know who you are and what you do, but she said I should talk to you. I'm like, all right. And in 30 minutes, I literally spent 30 minutes with these people. They walk in guarded, not sure what things are about, and not sure if I can actually do anything for them. At the end of the 30 minutes, you don't believe how many times I've heard, "Oh my goodness, that is exactly what I needed. I can feel the stress just melting away." And so those teachers were going back to the classroom, back to their students, more productive, more focused, with a positive energy, ready to do their job well, rather than when they showed up in the conference room with me, stressed out, tight, tense, ready to snap. Or some had walked in and they're like, "I already lost it. Like I
Yep. This is
I
post
yeah,
losing it.
like I just lost it on my kids." And so like that's what I see when I work with a school, is seeing the staff be able to make those progressions and be like, "All right, she's back. Like, all right, let's work on this now."
Yeah.
And so them seeing her invest in them like that and to know
hmm
them. And she never gave me details, and I didn't share details with her either. Like, I share trends. Like,
hmm
here's some of the overarching things that I with your staff. And she wanted to know those things. She's
Yeah.
like, "If you see any trends, please tell me." And it's amazing to watch what happens when she was new originally, and over a couple of years, the progression in her staff.
Yeah. So what are some concrete things, right? So as a leader, her concrete thing that she did was she brought you in and then she prioritized them getting help. And she was going to do whatever she needed to do on her end to make sure that they got that, right? Like showing that she values them as humans. And then what kinds of concrete next steps did you give these teachers that were coming to you? They were saying whatever they were saying, and you're sending them on their way to do stuff. What are examples of some of those concrete next steps?
Yeah, so what's different about what my approach is when I'm working with someone is I try to work with your brain
Yes.
rather than against your brain, because
Yes.
that's often the problem. We know what we should do. I should
Yes.
be eating well, I should be moving, but we really struggle to make it a habit. So I work with you to make it small, achievable habits that you
Yeah.
can do consistently, and then we build from there. So for some people, it was, listen, you need to pick up your lunch and go for a walk during that lunchtime to get
Mhm.
yourself movement, to get yourself a reset. It's also teaching them how to do quick resets for their nervous system when, like, the class is escalating, you're escalating, like everything's like snowballing. Okay, let's do a quick nervous system reset regularly throughout your day so you don't get to that point. So my favorite one, I'll just give you my favorite reset, is stop, breathe, be. And I get this from Dr. Aditi Narakur. She's a medical doctor. And what it is she chose a trigger throughout her day, which was her patient door. So she's seeing patients like every 15 minutes and like back to back to back. And so every time she walked up to a patient door, she would stop, she'd take a deep breath, and just be present in that moment. It takes less than a minute, but it allows your whole nervous system to reset
Mhm.
and regulate. And so teachers, administrators, pick a trigger for yourself. Maybe it's every time administrators, maybe it's every time you pick up the phone. Maybe it's every time you
Mhm.
sit down in your seat because you're not sitting in your seat very long. Maybe it's every time you grab a classroom door handle, you stop, take a deep breath, and just be present in that moment. And then go through the door.
Mhm.
And that, so I'm giving them tools like that that are simple, that are quick, that are easy to do in the moment, and we can build from there. Maybe it's drinking your water. And so, like, my simple practical tip on that is find a water bottle you love. Like, go to Target, you don't have to buy anything expensive at all. Find a water bottle you love. Figure out how many times you need to drink that water bottle in a day because we're supposed to drink half our body weight in ounces of water. And then you grab, let me see if I have enough. Here's my water bottle. Absolutely love this water bottle. You grab hair ties because we have a gazillion of them, right? Because they all get lost. You put the number of hair ties on your water bottle that you need to
Oh,
drink in
I
a day.
love that. Yeah.
Every time you drink it,
You
you
take it
take
off.
it off. And
Yeah,
when
that's great.
you've hit your goal. So it doesn't require thought and tracking. So it's things like that.
So when you were sharing about the stop, breathe, be, and figure out a trigger, there's in the book Atomic Habits. Have you read
Yes.
it? They
Yep.
talk about habit stacking, and I love that concept. That's probably the biggest thing that I grabbed from that book around building habits. And as very busy people, we need to have habits. We
Yep.
need to. The busier we are, the more habits we need already established.
Yep.
And so I love habit stacking. And so one thing that I'm working on personally, and I actually was talking to my coach yesterday about this, is habit stacking the thing I chose is I'm on airplanes a lot. I fly every week. And so I'm going to be flying today, for example. And so I'm habit stacking a something. I haven't actually figured it out. Probably a breathing technique.
Mhm.
When they make me put away my laptop, which like slightly angers me too. And I'm like, I'm doing work and you're interrupting my work. I really like get a little riled up over it. Um, and and so I'm going to habit stack like every time they make me put away my computer, they make me, can you hear it? They made
Right?
me
They
do
make me
it.
do it.
I'm like resentful. Like it's the law, Becca, and it's safety. But every time that I put away my laptop, I'm gonna do something every time, right? So that's the trigger. I have to put away my laptop. I'm gonna do something for myself in that moment, habit stacking. And
Yep.
so I'd say my most successful habit stack right now is what I call Java meditation. So like every time I drink coffee, which happens every morning no matter what, I hold my little coffee cup and
Mhm.
I have like a moment of meditation with my coffee. And I love that suggestion. So everyone listening, right? If you want to improve, develop some kind of habit, find something that's already established to connect it to.
Yep. So like your meditation and coffee habit. So I actually attach drinking water to coffee for a lot of people. And
Okay,
like
yeah.
start your day with water. So to you already make your coffee. So set
Yeah.
the water glass in front of your coffee pot. So you
Oh,
have to
that's
do
good.
that first, drink your water, then your coffee.
Oh, I love that. And like another way that you create habits is you make it easy and convenient.
Yep.
I love that. I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's
Like you,
exactly what that's
yeah.
exactly what I do with my clients, with like schools, everything. I try to make everything simple, easy, attainable, and stack them.
So I want to talk about mindsets now because mindsets are my jam.
Mm.
And I would love to hear because I think there's the external stuff. There's the like life is lifing, work is working, and it's going the way it's going. And then we can, when I say external, I mean like I can stop and breathe, and then work is the same. I want to talk about how we can think about work differently that shifts our level of burnout because that's the realm that I work in and I'm curious like what do you do with people? How do you help them shift?
That's so important. A lot of what I do is mindset work because as rude as this statement may feel to you, you are your own biggest stressor.
Oh, for sure.
Are your own biggest stressor because and administrators, coaches, you can look at an entire staff. Maybe they're on the two people on the exact same team with the exact same load, and one of them is thriving and one of them is about to walk out the door.
Hmm.
What's the difference? And it's
Uh-huh.
mindset. So one of the key things that I have really been honing in on is fact versus story.
Yeah, beautiful.
because there are facts. Facts are you work in a school, you have these responsibilities, you've been asked to do this, you have this amount of time. Facts. And then there's the story that we create around those facts. And
Mhm.
just a simple example is you're out shopping, you are about to walk into a store, somebody walks into the store ahead of you and they let the door go and it hits you in the face. That's a fact. The story you create after that event
Mhm.
is either empowering or disempowering. It
Mhm.
either angers you or allows you to have sympathy. So you can create the story that like, oh my goodness, they saw me and they let the door
They're
go in my
so
face
rude.
and they're horrible and you're like, rah, 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 this horrible thing. Or you'd be like, you know what, maybe it slipped out of their hand.
Mhm.
Maybe they're in a rush.
Mhm.
Maybe they have to like get in and get out and they just really didn't even see me. Maybe they're having a rough day. And so when I work with clients, I'm like, okay, so you just told me a story. Let's go back to the facts first. What are the facts in that story? And now, what's a more empowering story that you can tell about that that's going to create less stress, anxiety, and overwhelm for you? I mean, we do this over events that haven't even happened.
Mhm.
Think of like your mother in law is coming over, or your administrator is about to walk in and observe you. And they're like, oh my gosh, they're kind of in there. Always like, and we
Always
spiral
spiral.
in
Yeah.
all of these thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact is that that person hasn't even set foot
Yeah.
in your classroom, in your house.
Yeah.
The event has not even happened yet, but our body doesn't know the difference between the thoughts and the stories that we're generating and the
Yeah.
actual fact that's happening. Like our body feels like that person has already come in and prejudged us and said nasty
Mhm.
things to us and all of this. And so our body is raging with adrenaline and cortisol, and we're literally destroying our bodies with that cortisol and adrenaline when we could step back to the facts of, okay, my administrator is coming in to observe me. I am prepared. Like we can totally change the story. Like I'm prepared. I'm doing my best. My administrator is here to help me learn and grow. And so these are some things that you can take your teams through and your staff through of like, think about these mindsets. How are you going to approach me walking through your door?
Mhm.
Are you already spiraling before I ever set foot through the doorway? Or are you empowering yourself with, all right, they're here to help me. They're here to help me grow. I get to show them that I am capable and competent and confident within the classroom. I get to show them my creativity with these lesson plans and how I approach this with my students. I get to show them the relationships that I've built with my students. Do you feel the difference in how I'm talking right now?
Yeah.
You feel the difference in this energy as opposed to like, oh my gosh, they're coming through my door and like, blah, 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 blah. We get to choose
Yeah.
what's going on in our head. And it takes work. I am not going to deny that it takes work and it is hard
Yeah.
because we're working against neural pathways
Mhm.
that are very strong and we are trying to create new neural pathways.
For sure. And I actually have a framework around this called Fire Your Complaints, and it's FFIRE, which is fact, feelings, interpretation. It's exactly what you just said, and then reframe and empowered action, right? And I love that you said that because that's my most powerful framework around burnout. So it's like, I love that you and I are so aligned with the powerful things that we can do in our brains. The circumstance can stay the same, and yet we can view it totally different and literally release different chemicals in our brains. We can shift from I'm stressed out when I see this person to I'm looking forward to and actually maybe even excited to see them by the way that we think about the situation alone. The situation doesn't actually change, but what's wild is when we do think differently about situations, they do change.
It's wild. Our body, it's science. It's
Yep.
the chemistry of our bodies. It's oh my goodness. And those chemicals that you're releasing when you're calm and you're excited, the dopamine, the serotonin, all of that is so good for you
Hmm.
as
Yep.
opposed to the chemicals that you're releasing. Our stress response is wonderful.
Hmm.
Does exactly what it's supposed to do, but it's not meant for answering an email.
Hmm.
It's
It's
meant your
exactly.
administrator walks through your classroom door. It's meant for safety and escaping a threat to your life. So
Hmm.
when those chemicals are coursing through your body all the time,
Yeah.
it's literally deteriorating your body. It is
Yeah.
literally causing physical ailments.
Yeah.
And so many teachers administrators, coaches are dealing with very, very real physical ailments
Mm-hmm.
caused
Mm-hmm.
stress. And you actually, I was going to say you wouldn't believe, but you probably would believe. Number of people that I have talked to that have had GI issues, stomach and digestive issues, severe pain, no answers, tons of testing. And as soon as they changed jobs, changed positions, got out of the toxic environment, all of that went away.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Well, we have to wrap up. But thank you so much for coming on the show and like sharing some of your tips around how we can navigate our own burnout and help others navigate that as well, because we want our beautiful teachers to stay in the profession and thrive,
Yes.
right? And this is how we can do it. So, where can folks find out more about you and what you do?
Absolutely. So you can go to my website. That's nrhdynamic.com. You can check me out there and see what I have out there. And then you also are welcome to follow me on social media where I'm kind of living this out, showing what I'm doing, how I'm managing stress. That's Naomi Hall, Fit Educator on both Facebook and Instagram. And I welcome you to join me there and just, I share my very imperfect journey there.
I love it so much. We'll put all of those links in the show notes as well, so folks can just go head down there and click on it. So thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I love any opportunity to help people just start to get a handle on their stress.
Yes.